An all-new Eye on the Bay in HD starts right now.
On this beautiful day on the Bay, hello and welcome to Eye on the Bay. I'm Liam Makelum. It is our Friday flea market. You know the deal. We have lots of interesting items for sale. If you see something you love, we'll connect you with the seller via our website. We've teamed up for this broadcast with our friends at Interscola, a Bay Area organization right here. They work with schools all over the country, and they take their unwanted items and repurpose them or resell them. And then money goes back to the schools, much of it to our school children right here in the Bay Area. We have some of those items for sale today. We're talking about furniture, some old computers, even this old treasure from a library. But we begin with some visual aids right down there. And right before us here, a collection of items Interscola is selling on behalf of a school district. Here to talk to us, Robert, good to see you.
Hi, how are you?
A South Bay School District, right?
Yes, it is, South Bay School District. These are sort of an assortment of dioramas and dolls, drawings, basically visual aids.
We're talking before computers,
yes,
right?
Yes, Teachers would check these out and they would bring them into the classroom as part of their lesson plan. So we have a couple of dolls here. We have Padre of the Mission Days. We also have a farm couple from Guatemala and some Russian dolls.
Yeah.
Pioneer man, girl. Also these dioramas are replicas of missions. They had a whole assortment of California missions. This here is a San Rafael mission. This is the Dolores mission.
And they really tell a story, each one, don't they?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and they're sort of indicative of a period of time and the architecture that sort of represented that time. Over here we have a nice sort of cultural time capsule, which has some ceremonial dress from, of course, Japan, and a nice book which also sort of lends a little bit of illustrative cultural representation there of the Japanese culture and a period of time.
I notice you have some drawings here.
Yes, we do.
As well. Tell us
These
about
are
them.
French drawings, also part of art history lessons. These are a nice assortment. They had at least 100 file folders, all from different periods, representing different arts.
Beautiful. How much would you like for the collection?
On behalf of the school district, we'll take $99.95 for the entire lot.
$99?
Yes.
$95, that is a deal.
Sold.
That's a bargain. If you like what you see here, it's a really cool way to educate your kids, or just some fun stuff to have. $99.95. All the info on our website, cbs5.com/Eye on the Bay. Click on Friday Flea Market. Cheers, Robert.
Thank you.
Awesome. And another old school item you'll find up for grabs at Interscola. John, glad to see you, my friend.
Liam.
You're here to tell us all about it. What is this exactly?
This is an ATC flight simulator. These have been used for many, many years in high schools and colleges to teach students the basics for flight training without the risk of going up in the air.
Now, of course, today they use simulators and computers.
Much more modernized methods, everything computerized, controlled, much more accurate, much more realistic.
But this is something tangible. You can actually, really get this thing in your hands, press the buttons, touch it,
Certainly,
feel it.
Certainly.
Yeah.
The yoke, the throttle, all the instrumentation that mimics, these are actually instruments that were used in aircraft. So it's very accurate, and it's a great way to safely train potential pilots.
Sure. And I know that you, in fact, have planes, and you have had the planes from schools.
We sold aircraft parts,
Yeah.
jet engines, old radial engines from World War II,
Wow.
the tools to work on them.
Well, this is pretty cool. How much would you like for this?
$149.95.
$149.95? That seems like a deal. What do you say? If you like it, you can have a use for it. All the info on our website, cbs5.com/Eye on the Bay. Click on Friday Flea Market. John.
Thank you, Lee.
Fantastic. Thanks. We're going high tech now, but high tech, old tech, high tech.
Old tech, high tech.
David, good to see you. This would be a great collection for anyone who's starting a Mac museum. But this is a good example of some of the things that you receive at Interscola. Things that otherwise end up on the scrap heap, right?
Right. As newer technology comes out, the computers are replaced, and we have these to dispose of for the schools. It's been a while since they had these computers in the classroom.
We're talking way back in the 80s, the
way
mid-80s?
back in the 80s, yeah.
The old Mac, is this Color Classic or is this?
No, I think this is a Mac Plus, and that's
Yeah.
a Mac SE30.
Good heavens.
We're really early in the Macintosh line.
We're talking floppy disk.
We're talking floppy disk, 3.5 inch.
But you
yes.
have a great idea for these.
Yeah, and instead of using this as an obsolete or in a museum, you take the guts out, put in a plexiglass
Yeah.
case, and turn it into an aquarium.
Yeah.
So instead of looking at your old Word documents, you're now looking at a fish swimming around in a nice environment.
It's a screensaver, but it's a real screensaver.
A real
fish.
screensaver.
Yeah.
It's not a digital aquarium. Yes.
You are selling this absolute beauty, an original, as part of this collection. Tell us about this.
It's what has been referred to as the clam shell iBook. Unfortunately, you can't make a good aquarium out of it, but
Yeah.
it's still a nice example of old technology.
Cool. How much would you like for these three?
The three, $69.95.
Beautiful. The iBook here, you have 4 for sale here.
Yes, we're jumping up. Those are G4 iBooks. We're now up over gigahertz in speed, so we're at something that still can be used. And for that collection, $399.95 for the 4.
Okay, beautiful. Last but not least, this sexy computer right here. This is when Mac really turned a corner. Tell us about it.
Yes, this is a G4. They came in G3s. This is a little bit newer, a G4 iMac. This is a nice swivel head, jokingly referred to as the lampshade computer.
Yeah, and how much?
Fully functioning, $229.95.
Beautiful. A great collection of computers. I mean, a real bargain. This one ready to plug in and go, the others without operating systems. But if you want more, go to our website, cbs5.com/Eye on the Bay. Sir, thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is high tech. Next up, something really, really low tech. And this is indeed very old school, made before an Apple Mac for sure. Here to tell us about it is David. David, good to see you. Another item that came from a school district. This, I'm assuming, perhaps came from a library, yeah?
Yes, this actually came from a library in the North Bay.
Yeah.
We actually, it's owned by the school district, and we're selling it on behalf of that school district. Now, as you know, a lot of things are going electronic in the libraries these days, and so we actually are giving the community an opportunity to repurpose this item. You can use it for a lot of different things. You can put, little knickknacks you find around the house, maybe tools, some drill bits. I actually know Joan Rivers uses a card catalog to store her jokes in, so I don't know.
You know what? Brian Hackney's a big joke teller. I'll tell Brian about this. I think he may want it himself. And maybe you're a chef. We know lots of chefs, and you have some recipes. You could have a index cards
definitely.
with recipes on in here too.
The best part about it is, though, when you support, when you buy this item, you're actually supporting the school districts because a lot of the money goes right back to our local schools.
Fantastic.
And so that's great for the community as well.
Yeah. It's pretty solid. It's durable. More than 30 years old. It's lasted.
Yes, older than I am, actually.
Yeah. Me too. So how much would you like for this wonderful solid wood on the outside? You got your brass handles here and little knobs. How much would you like this?
Yeah, we're actually only asking $89 for it. So I know.
$89.
It's a steal.
That is a steal. I'm sure you could find a use for it. $89 for this. It's pretty cool. All the info on our website, cbs5.com/Eye on the Bay, and click on Friday Flea Market. Wonderful, David.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now I want to introduce you to Bridget. And Bridget, you have brought with you some stools used in a classroom, I'm assuming, at a school somewhere not too far away?
Absolutely. These stools, which are really beautiful and metal and all handmade, are just a small part of a collection of products that we received from a classroom environment where metal woodworking and shopping was, key focus.
Yeah.
So in addition to these stools, we've had great items from this shop, including welding equipment and lathes. It's just an unbelievable grouping of stuff.
Yeah.
But these stools in particular are really fabulous. They may have even been made, during the classes, which we think, could very well be the case.
Yeah.
They are very sturdy, very beautifully done, and we have a dozen of them today for only $99.95.
For one?
For the whole dozen.
The entire collection?
The entire collection.
You know that these do sell for more than $100 a piece. You know that.
They do.
Yeah.
I mean, I have seen some, where they're antiqued and, in a mall very near my home here in the Bay Area, where they can sell for up to $200.
Yeah.
And,
Wow.
if you're crafty, I mean, you could take these stools and you could refinish them in, virtually any way to suit your home.
And I know that a lot of your clients are actually restaurants and bars who end up taking these and finding new life and a new home for them, yeah?
That's very true. I mean, we have so many clients that, repurpose all of the items that we have available for sale for things just like that.
Yeah.
So, we've been able to outfit entire restaurants with supplies, for example.
Yeah.
And, maybe these stools will end up in a beautiful, your local pub.
Why not?
Yes.
Why not?
Why not?
A dozen stools. Say the price one more time.
$99.95.
For the entire collection of 12. That is a steal. I may even have to steal them myself. Wonderful. And of course, in Tuscola, the great thing is the money goes back to the school district when this sale is made. So we love that.
We do.
All right, lots more to come. We will return more from right here in Tuscola in the Presidio in San Francisco. It's our Friday flea market, back in just a bit. And these are perfect because they're the right height for me.
They are.
Welcome back to Eye on the Bay. It is our Friday flea market. I want to introduce you now to the CEO and founder of Tuscola, Melissa Rich. Melissa, great to see you.
Nice to meet you.
Let's talk about your journey and how this idea first came to you.
Sure. I'm a former venture capitalist, and I was investing in companies that help schools integrate technology into the curriculum, and eventually helped sell that company to a textbook publisher, and was thinking about what do schools do with their old stuff. And at the time, my frame of reference was schools have textbooks, they have computers, and they have desks and chairs. And I started asking questions, what do you do with that old stuff? And learned that they have far more asset categories than any of us probably think about.
Sure.
They have all the maintenance equipment and the food service equipment and vehicles and school buses and musical instruments, sports equipment, you name it. And they were literally throwing the stuff away or paying somebody to haul it away as trash.
Yeah.
So we wanted to provide a service that would help them take their old stuff and convert it into cash that they could use back in their school district.
And you've given us enough content for an entire episode of Eye on the Bay.
Great.
And maybe many more. But that is the good thing. You just mentioned the fact that the school district not only gets rid of all that surplus, but then they get money back.
They absolutely do. So we've returned about $10 million to the schools we've been working with
Wow.
for about 6 years.
Yeah.
And we're currently working with about a third of the schools in California, and just find that there is no shortage of stuff that they're turning over every year, year after year.
And it's California and beyond that you're servicing,
Absolutely. We have school districts along the East Coast as well.
right? Thank you for all this great content.
Thank you.
Melissa, thank you very much. Lots more to come on Tuscola and some unique items later in the show. But for now, our friends at Michon's with our tip of the week. It is time for our Michon's tip of the week. Talisa of Michon's, great to see you.
Hi, how are you?
I'm wonderful. What is your tip all about? I'm assuming something to do with money, yeah?
That's right. I actually got an email from Kyle in Castro Valley, and he wanted to find out why cleaning his collectible coin brought the value down.
Well, thank you, Kyle in Castro Valley, for emailing us.
Great.
That's cool.
So basically what happens is that when you clean a vintage coin,
Yeah.
you're really making it into something that it's not. All dealers out there and collectors, they really want to buy collectible coins in its original state.
So do not clean your coins.
That's right.
Now you tell me.
So basically what happens is that when you start cleaning it through time, you really damage
Sure.
the characteristics that make it valuable.
Well, we're looking at two examples of an old coin from...
The United States is a
Yeah.
1 cent coin. It's an 1851 coin.
Yeah.
And I think this is 1847 if I can see that.
Yep.
But the difference here is you can see the wear and tear on it. The nose is actually kind of diminished a bit here. So the difference in value is it takes it from like a $90 to about $20.
Sure. So our dirty old one right here,
Right.
worth so much more. And the one that's all cleaned up, not so good, not so valuable.
That's right.
Yeah, that is an awesome tip. If folks want to come and see you, they can, right?
Yeah, they can. Every Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. in Alameda.
Yeah, beautiful.
Great.
We'll leave you with the money shot as we go to break. It is Eye on the Bay. More info, of course, on our website, cbs5.com/Eye on the Bay. Back in just a moment. That's fascinating. I had no idea that was the case. Wow. And that's it for another edition of Eye on the Bay and a Friday flea market. And I have to say, I don't think I've ever been on an edition of the show where we've had so many deals. Those deals thanks to our friends at Interscola. Everything from the stools, a collection of 12 for under $100. I could see them in a restaurant or a bar somewhere. And then if you're a Mac head, all those different Macs from back in the day, from the 80s right through to the mid-90s, really cool. Every one is steel. And then the visual aids. That included dozens of little French paintings, the visual aids themselves, really, really cool. That entire collection for $100. Now, if you're a parent, a teacher, or involved with the school, we'll connect you with Interscola via our website, cbs5.com/Eye on the Bay, and click on Friday Flea Market. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Liam Maitland. I'll see you next time. Cheers.
This edition of Eye on the Bay sponsored by Michonne's Auctions in Alameda.